Garfield Trollington in Bruhville documentary. Created by William Hutchins, grade 5. January 21st, 2016. When he was a kid, Garfield Trollington loved exploring the world around him, always wanting to find something new. Ever since he was born in 1828, he and his siblings would always go outside and just look for things, whether that be animals or cool-looking plants. Garfield was all about nature and exploration. That's the only thing he would do. All throughout his teens and early adult years, he was very well known around his community for discovering new plants and animals, as well as new areas around his place of living. But he wanted more. So when he was around 25 years of age, he got onto a boat and left his family and community to explore more of the world and find more undiscovered places. For most of his journey, he didn't find much new areas, just things that had already been found. But he did get very well known around the areas he did visit by the locals, from people who had talked to him. He was apparently very nice to people and was very helpful. Some locals even made folk songs about him.
Garfield Trollington, Garfield Trollington, Garfield Trollington.
He was like the next Christopher Columbus. Garfield didn't discover much by himself until 1857, which is when he found the biggest piece of territory he had ever found. He found an area of land, quite large in size, and no one had found it before him, and he needed to think of a good name for such area. He couldn't think of much, so he just called the area after his father, Garfield Trollington. A few weeks after the town was founded, people from surrounding areas started inhabiting the area and began building houses and other buildings for living, as well as storing goods for the community. By 1861, Bruhville had become a full thriving town with a population of 1,059. Not much else happened in Bruhville past this, and Garfield didn't do much. He had invited his family to live in the town with him, rather than in their old townhouse in Birmingham, England. They decided to go and live there for the rest of their lives. After this, Garfield and his family's lives were pretty quiet. They all settled down and didn't do much. Though Garfield did have 2 kids, those being a son, Philip Trollington, and a daughter, Elizabeth Trollington, named after his mom. Though, after a few decades of living in Bruhville, Garfield Trollington sadly died. He died in Bruhville, and all of the townspeople were saddened by the news. The founder of the town is dead! Ugh, so much sadness. After they heard the news, they decided to build a statue in his honor. The building of the statue was orchestrated by Garfield's kids and the mayor of Bruhville. The statue was completed 6 months after his death in 1910, and ever since then, Garfield Trollington has lived on in many people's hearts as the creator of a very funny town. And that town is where I live. I love Bruhville. Thanks for watching.